Well, now we can say thanks to YouTube because everybody can certainly have their own opinion and share it to the rest of the world. I was thinking about President Barack Obama being elected President of the United States. It's amazing. People all over the world are asking themselves that, does anybody think that was possible? I myself never thought that I would have lived to see this, certainly. But thanks God, I got to see it. But the question that remains is this: don't we all think that America is a racist society? I think it is. So much so that racism is a culture in America. If you're white, you're not racist. Maybe you're not white enough, according to some people. You should be racist. If you think about it, as I was reading the other day, it wasn't until 1963 the first African American was named to a presidential cabinet to serve as a member of that cabinet, 1963. And back in 1901, President Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt, changed the name from Executive Mansion, and prior to that it was the President's House. Changed it from there to the Executive Mansion. From the Executive Mansion, President Theodore Roosevelt decided he's going to name it the White House. It is not because it is all painted in white, excuse me. It is simply because in his mind, he thinks that no black person will ever be elected President of the United States to be in that White House. So therefore, it has to be called the White House, house for the white people. Well, I was asking myself the other day, that should change, because it's no longer the White House only, it's the people's house, right? So therefore, President Barack Obama should name it the U.S. National Palace. You see what I'm saying? Because the White House thing is like back in the 60s or the 50s when you would see a sign says white only, no blacks or no colored people, things like that. So we need to name this the U.S. National Palace. No more the White House. Very important, Mr. Obama. Very important. Think about it. In 1969, Thurgood Marshall was the first African American to ever name to the Supreme Court. After his retirement in 1990, Clarence Thomas was named to replace him by George H.W. Bush, the 41st president. Does that to suggest that spot, that seat in the U.S. Supreme Court belongs to a black man? So if that's the case, maybe we can say somewhere in 2012, 2013, Eric Holder, the now Attorney General, might be the third one to sit on that seat at the U.S. Supreme Court. No, I think it's not fair. It's not okay to have just one black person to sit on the bench while there are 8 white people sitting on the bench. I'm not racist, but these 2 black men are not the only qualified judges, black judges, I should say. So we need more diversity. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, we got to change this.